Now there's the possibility of anything happening here at the very beginning of this fight. Both these guys have tremendous power. Both men have been down.
Trinidad is supposed to be the slower starter, but don't go to the bank on that. De La Hoya has told us he will box. He wants to counterpunch. Will that be his strategy? So far, he is moving.
I went to a De La Hoya training session in Big Bear, California. He said, I'm going to box, box, box. He said that when he was up in the room, up in the ring, moving around. Box, box, box.
So far, that is exactly what he is doing. Trinidad trying to get his jab established. Both he and De La Hoya want to use that punch.
It is often said that Felix Trinidad is a slow starter, but he is not a slow starter because his body doesn't allow him to start quickly. He is a slow starter in another sense, Al, and that's because he studies his opponent in the first round or two. He uses that as a study hall. He gives them little moves, sees how they react, sees what they have, sees how they throw punches. So Felix Trinidad probably could start quicker if he wanted to, but he wants to know everything there is to know about his opponent before he really goes to work.
And he is the first one to try and use the jab. De La Hoya has not thrown a punch yet, and we are over a minute into the first round. Trinidad still throwing some jabs. There's De La Hoya finally starting to get on track a little bit. So very much a feeling out first round. There's De La Hoya with a jab and a straight right hand. Neither man has felt the other's punch yet. We are halfway through round one. De La Hoya misses with a big left hook.
You saw the speed of hand, though, of that De La Hoya left hook. He's quicker-handed, I believe, than Trinidad. Trinidad, however, punches straighter. Will that negate that edge and speed? That's one of the big questions surrounding the bout.
Probably the only punch in which Trinidad isn't as compact as De La Hoya is with the left hook, and that could be a big weapon for De La Hoya if he gets inside one of those left hooks of Trinidad and throws his own. Now De La Hoya starting to move forward, showing Trinidad a different look here. So first it was Trinidad pursuing, now it's De La Hoya.
Just settling, changing the momentum to where De La Hoya is moving forward. First combination.
And you know what's impressive so far is the hand speed of De La Hoya, even though he's not landing right away. Now remember, he hurt his left hand against Obakar. He just kind of shook it a little bit there. Some were whispering that his left hand wasn't completely healed. Look at the problem Trinidad has, though, when De La Hoya is moving. Trinidad has a tough time hitting a moving target.
Oscar's body looks much better defined than it did in that last fight with Obakar.
Well, a very nondescript first round. Round two, Oscar De La Hoya in the blue trunks, Felix Trinidad in the white. They hardly need an introduction to you, but there it is nevertheless.
Something to keep in mind, Al, Felix Trinidad has been down 6 times in his career, all of them in the second round. A weird stat.
That is a strange stat. Now Trinidad going after De La Hoya. He says he wants that, De La Hoya does. He'd like to counterpunch him. We heard Alcazar say, look for that left hook. That is the power punch for Oscar De La Hoya. It comes down to the Trinidad right or the De La Hoya left hook, most people believe.
Alcazar said that this would be an easy fight for him, that it would be similar to the Rafael Ruelas fight. Bob Arum actually said this week and was quoted in the newspaper that he thought truthfully that it would be a walk in the park for Oscar.
I don't know about that, but it could turn out to be that way, and of course that's the charm of this fight. It could turn out to be that way for either man. So far it's been a very tentative beginning in round one and this part of round two, as both men use these rounds as a feeling out process. Trinidad has thrown more punches than Oscar. There's the first jab landed by Oscar De La Hoya. Neither man has landed much. Right hand gets in over the jab by Trinidad. That's something he'll want to do as this fight progresses.
Starting to get a little more active. You see Trinidad normally has a work volume that picks up in the first 2 or 3 rounds, bit by bit.
Very important now, De La Hoya is starting to use the jab and use it with conviction. And this is with those combinations.
Trinidad was wary there, and he backed off as soon as Oscar started coming to him.
The movement of De La Hoya so far, though, very important for him, I think, because he does not want to be flat-footed against a big power puncher like Felix Trinidad. And he hasn't been. Trinidad with the lead right that doesn't quite get there, and so far it has been a chess match. We doubt it'll be that for the entire 12 rounds. Left hand gets in by Trinidad.
Trinidad beginning to get more active now, Al. Beginning to get into the fight here a little bit.
Moment ago, wide left hook by Trinidad. That's a dangerous move for him. There's about a half-minute left in this round, and De La Hoya runs the risk of losing these rounds, these early rounds, because he's done literally nothing offensively, very little there. He throws but misses a couple of shots. Right hand by Felix Trinidad.
Tito starting to take more chances, too. Oscar heard that 10-second warning and goes to work.
Right hand by Trinidad, by De La Hoya. Very close round. It was De La Hoya getting hit with the left hook and Trinidad getting hit with the right hand. Everybody thought it would be just the opposite. But of course, we've got rounds to go, we think. We head into round 3. And round 2, while it wasn't a wild, active round, as you said, Rich, things did pick up.
Trinidad is moving in. It looks to me like he's willing to take more chances. He's tasted a little bit of Oscar's power, but he certainly hasn't tasted the big punch yet. But he's getting a little bit bolder, and Oscar hopes to make that work to his advantage in terms of counterpunching. You saw he tried to counter that jab there.
De La Hoya and Trinidad both want to establish the jab. So far, Trinidad has used that punch a little bit more. Neither man has made it work real well. Again, there's the hook by Trinidad. He's thrown more right hooks than he has straight right hands, and Oscar's thrown more straight right hands than he has left hooks. That's the big surprise so far.
Each man has gotten close on a few occasions, and you just hear the buzz go right through the crowd every time either one of them does.
Because there is the feeling that somebody could knock somebody down or out with one punch. Trinidad so far, I think, is making one dangerous move, and that's he's throwing lots of left hooks, and they're going kind of wide.
Very little body punching so far.
Very little punching period so far. Halfway through round 3. So far, Trinidad has been the aggressor, and what little damage has been done, primarily has been done by him, although round 2 was very, very close. De La Hoya still moving. He's had lateral movement throughout. A couple of little combinations, but he didn't really set down on any of those punches, did Oscar. Trinidad cutting the distance down between himself and De La Hoya. De La Hoya misses with the big right hand there.
And did you see how quickly he brought his hand back in a defensive posture after throwing that and missing?
Good jabs by Trinidad, but then De La Hoya comes back in his own. Good uppercut by De La Hoya.
First significant punch of the fight.
The best for De La Hoya, to be sure. And there's the De La Hoya jab getting in, and now things are starting to heat up a little bit toward the end of round 3.
Oscar's jabbing more in this fight. He does have a great jab when he chooses to use it, Al. He showed that against Miguel Angel Gonzalez when he jabbed all night his way to a victory. It's a real strong, quick jab, and he's using it in this round. Oscar's game plan was working there in the last minute.
Oscar De La Hoya.
You still haven't come in with your strong punch yet.
So we head into round 4. Al Bernstein along with Rich Barada. Delighted you are watching with us the fight of the millennium. Oscar De La Hoya in the blue trunks, the WBC welterweight champ in the white trunks. It's Felix Trinidad, the IBF champion. There's De La Hoya going to work with his jab. Things have started to heat up in this match.
I thought both fighters looked tight in the first 3 rounds, not relaxed down, not really letting things go in the fluid nature that they normally do.
And now we are seeing a little more of that as they both go after each other. You see both men intent on trying to establish that jab.
Slight blood from the nose of Felix Trinidad. Not a factor at this point.
They are mirror images of each other in the ring. They have the same height, the same weight. Both have good boxing skills and both have power. Mitch Halpern, the third man of the ring, has barely had to step in to even break a clinch. Good right hand by Trinidad. That's what he wants to get in.
One of the strong points of Halpern is that he is so unobtrusive. Oscar looking to confuse Trinidad.
There's Trinidad using his jab. Again, the lateral movement of Oscar De La Hoya. There's the hook by Trinidad. He's going to want to throw that punch, and it's a danger for him because De La Hoya could counter him with his own hook. But so far, he's getting away with it. Now Trinidad becoming the aggressor. Trinidad walks into a jab as he tries to throw the right hand. The De La Hoya jab now starting to get there a little more. These early rounds are important, Rich, because they're so close, it's tough to know who they're going to go to.
Tito, look, that was a great body shot by De La Hoya, but Tito has looked a little more urgent in his desire to get at Oscar in this round. But Oscar working that jab.
Some good counter-punching by De La Hoya as he gets a few shots in, and there again uses the jab. Half a minute left to go in round 4 in these rounds that are slipping by, and I'll tell you what, it's very tough to tell where the momentum of this fight is headed. Missed by Trinidad with the uppercut. Again, De La Hoya sticking the jab out there. In this round, De La Hoya's jab has been more present. Good right by De La Hoya.
And he got right back out again. He got close to Trinidad, landed the right, and backed away.
Hook by Trinidad.
These are close rounds, Al.
Very close.
It's going to be tough for the judges.
De La Hoya got his hand up to block part of that punch, but the left got in. We head into round 5. It is scheduled for 12. It is for both the IBF and WBC welterweight championship of the world. Oscar De La Hoya in the blue trunks, Felix Trinidad in the white. Been a chess match so far.
No matter what they've said previous, you can see that they have great respect for each other's punching power.
They have to. Big right counter. Now, De La Hoya really wants to counter Trinidad, and we heard Roberto Alcazar saying every time he punches, counter. Good right by De La Hoya. Now here's the De La Hoya that could get in trouble, standing right in front of Trinidad, and he just got hit with the right hand. No movement, just kind of staying there, not punching. That's what he did against Corte. The jab of De La Hoya getting in.
The fight has not had the explosive punching power that we saw in the Corte fight in selected rounds thus far, and it hasn't had the explosive punching that we expected to see in this fight yet.
Trinidad misses with the hook. He's insisting on throwing the hook, and De La Hoya is not making the most of that by countering with his own hook, which is believed to be the more powerful punch of the two hooks.
Tito chasing, Oscar boxing, staying on his toes as he promised he would.
And De La Hoya is using the jab as he promised he would. Trinidad actually abandoned his jab a little bit in the last round or so. There's the jab from Trinidad. Neither man landing effectively all the time with it. There's the left hook from De La Hoya. It missed, as did the right. Good right and a hook from De La Hoya.
That shook up Trinidad a little bit.
Nice hand speed by De La Hoya. The lateral movement of De La Hoya is giving Trinidad problems. Make no mistake about that.
Because Trinidad, usually by this time in any fight, has long studied his opponent and is actively breaking down his opponent at that time. Trinidad is good at cutting off the ring, but De La Hoya is moving around.
Well, he's giving him movement both ways. And just the movement wouldn't win him around, but De La Hoya has punched enough to get it done. There's a nice right hand by Trinidad over a lazy jab of De La Hoya. Again, very close rounds. And those are the kind of combinations that can win. He pushes Trinidad back, may have hurt him with the right hand.
Stop Tito Trinidad dead in his tracks.
And the left hook gets in, and there is swelling around the left eye of Tito Trinidad. So Felix Trinidad comes out here in round 6 after having suffered a bit toward the end of the 5th round.
I think Oscar De La Hoya is winning this fight so far, Al, based on his boxing ability and his snaking left jab. And Trinidad is having all kinds of trouble reaching Oscar with his punches.
And now the combination punching of De La Hoya is becoming a big factor. His hand speed is giving Trinidad some other problems. We are in round 5. De La Hoya continues his lateral movement as Trinidad comes forward.
He's not giving Trinidad any opportunity to build up any momentum with combination punches. It's just a punch here or there that Trinidad is getting in.
Should De La Hoya be busier though, Rich?
Yeah, he probably could be, but he's very concentrating on sticking to his fight game plan, which obviously is movement, distance.
Trinidad continues his assault. Good right hand by Felix Trinidad. Raised the head of De La Hoya. Trinidad the aggressor in this round, but early in the round, De La Hoya landed good. Good right hand by De La Hoya. And another. He's punching with power with that right hand. The cleaner power punches so far have belonged to De La Hoya. And I think that swelling under the left eye of Trinidad is going to be a cause for concern pretty soon if De La Hoya hits it with a few more right hands.
Trinidad continues to follow, and some of the fans beginning to get on the fighters for lack of action. They expected more, perhaps getting on Oscar for this particular strategy.
He's certainly using all of this ring. And they're not used to seeing that so much from De La Hoya in recent fights. There's the jab again by De La Hoya. Trinidad frozen with that jab. Gets hit with the jab and misses the right hand, does Trinidad. Tactically, De La Hoya is controlling this fight right now. Of course, remember, there's power in that right hand of Trinidad. Quick right by De La Hoya. The hand speed of De La Hoya, I think, is the difference so far, Rich.
Well, because when he uses it, he's using it in combinations.
The jab again by De La Hoya. He is looser now, and he is throwing some shots. And he has had himself a pretty good round. The difference is he's throwing more than one punch at a time, and Trinidad's throwing only one. So Oscar De La Hoya starting to control the tempo of this fight. We head into round 7, and that's the salient question now, I think, Rich. And let's see. De La Hoya will certainly want to box for a few more rounds, I would think. He seems to have the better power later in fights. He's shown it in a couple of fights.
Trinidad did well in the opening minute of the previous round, but then he let De La Hoya get back on top once again. And Trinidad comes out starting fast again here at the start of round 7. But he has been unable really to control a whole round to this point.
And I think Trinidad respects De La Hoya's power. He's not, when he's coming in, he's frozen at times, not wanting to throw caution to the wind. Again, the lateral movement from De La Hoya. He's content to fight in spurts, but it's been effective for him. Blocks the left hook by Trinidad. Some of the crowd getting on De La Hoya for his movement. They want to see more action. Left hook gets in by De La Hoya as he throws a 3-punch combination.
Well, we could tell what De La Hoya's strategy was in the first 30 seconds, exactly how he's going to fight this fight.
And amazingly, he stayed to it. Good right hand. Are you surprised that De La Hoya's been able to get his right hand in as much as he has?
Yeah, I think I am. He has been able to land it either as a lead or as a counter. But Trinidad is starting to take some chances here, I think, and he could leave himself open even more to it, Al.
Right hand misses by Trinidad. De La Hoya continues the lateral movement, taps him with a jab. And even though the De La Hoya jab isn't landing a lot, it's really keeping Trinidad neutralized, not allowing him to throw those big power shots. See, even when Trinidad has him near the ropes, Rich, he is not just coming in trying to get to him. He has some trepidation. There's wild left hooks that miss by Trinidad. And the hook from De La Hoya gets in. The difference is hand speed right now.
Trinidad has been more aggressive this round, but Oscar makes him pay for the mistakes.
Boy, that lateral movement is just befuddling Trinidad. And when De La Hoya does punch, he's effective. Can De La Hoya move for 12 rounds like this?
Well, he can. I think he can, because Trinidad's not putting enough pressure on him. He's not hitting him enough punches. He's not doing anything to wear Oscar De La Hoya down.
Right hand again gets in by De La Hoya. And again, De La Hoya steals the action at the end of the round. Good the jab by Trinidad. Counter right by De La Hoya. And Trinidad gets his own right hand in. So it's good. Oh, and Trinidad hits him after the bell. And we have some action.
Then he definitely hit after the bell. And the two exchange words.
De La Hoya chastises him for it. Well, we head into round 8. The crowd is into it. It has been a tactical fight, but a pretty interesting one in certain ways. De La Hoya boxing, Trinidad stalking, but not stalking in a wild fashion, because he knows he's been stunned a couple times, I think, by right hands and left hooks by De La Hoya.
I expected more of a shootout. Trinidad's coming faster here, Al. Coming after him.
Well, his father whacked him 2 or 3 times in the corner and said, we got to get after him. But of course, there's danger there, because he could walk into a big counterpunch, which he did earlier. See, the hook doesn't get there for Trinidad. And the more he throws that left hook, the more he might get countered by De La Hoya. Although De La Hoya hasn't thrown his own left hook much in this fight.
I am surprised Oscar is...
Good hook by Oscar after the right hand.
Oscar's done well getting his right hand up to block the left hooks of Felix Trinidad.
The jabs and the right hands by De La Hoya.
De La Hoya in this round is putting on a clinic.
Body punches by Oscar. Oh, warning to keep it up from Halper, and didn't look like there was a low blow there. Oh, jab to the body and a straight right to the head. You can feel De La Hoya starting to vary his attack. And right now it's Trinidad who looks more one-dimensional coming in.
Very surprising. Trinidad's supposed to be the two-handed fighter with a varied attack.
Good right by... Oh, there goes De La Hoya with a good combination after Trinidad had landed an excellent right hand. That's the difference in this fight. Trinidad throws one punch at a time. De La Hoya throws a couple. There's the lateral movement again being a problem for Trinidad. He just can't hit De La Hoya. And when he does cut the ring off, Rich, he's still not able to corner him and hit him.
Yeah, he's not cutting it off much in this round. Oscar able to move side to side in a circular fashion. He's been doing what he wants. I wonder if Felix Trinidad is beginning to be discouraged.
Good right by De La Hoya. He's just pecking away, finding his spots, throwing combinations, then getting out of dodge. And the wide hook of Trinidad, very bad for him. Oh, that one got in. But normally, it's a punch he doesn't want to throw.
The first one Oscar blocked with his hand, like we mentioned he had been doing throughout the bout, but that second one did get home, and Oscar got wide open for some reason defensively.
Every time the last 10 seconds come up, De La Hoya attacks. again, after the bell, comes Trinidad with a punch. Will this man, Felix Trinidad, be able to cut the ring and land something big? Certainly Trinidad has landed a couple of good shots, but they don't seem to have affected De La Hoya that much. If anything, I think, would you agree, the power of De La Hoya has been felt more by Trinidad?
Oh, yes, without question. And the combinations have been stinging.
Yeah.
Very sharp.
And we've not seen the Trinidad right hand as much as we might have, although he has landed it on several occasions. And the battle of the jabs now being won by De La Hoya since about the second round. That was a good left hook to the body by Trinidad.
I must admit, I did expect more of a shootout between these two.
I did too, truthfully.
I thought there'd be some hellacious exchanges. It hasn't been that way, but De La Hoya is picking up in confidence now and letting the combinations fly.
Boy, is he working the body of Felix Trinidad and not paying for it at all. He's working on the inside to the body and not taking any counter punches by Trinidad. But of course, that could be dangerous for De La Hoya because Trinidad has that big right hand waiting.
But Oscar seems to sense something here.
His foot speed, De La Hoya's foot speed, Rich, is making a big difference. This is probably the best pure boxing exhibition De La Hoya has given in a long time, maybe ever. Again, the jab of De La Hoya continues out there.
Trinidad has just been unable to sustain any kind of attack. I mean, there's a punch here, punch there. Again, that right hand up to block the punch by De La Hoya.
Well, when Felix Trinidad is reduced to mostly throwing left hooks, you know he's got a problem. That is not, while he has a decent left hook, that's not the place where you look for him to dominate you.
However, you must remember, and I'm sure Oscar does, as he takes that right hand, that he can't get complacent in the ring. He cannot get complacent defensively and get too relaxed because Trinidad can make him pay at any moment.
Right hand by De La Hoya, a left hook by Trinidad.
Yeah, now that's one that he turned over. He does that very well. A good little short left hook inside by Trinidad.
De La Hoya's getting into a bad habit here, though, of throwing a bunch of pity-pat punches instead of setting down on for his combo. That left hook he set down on, but missed. Big right by De La Hoya. Again, a round in which De La Hoya's boxing skills look to be enough to win this round. Although Trinidad has landed some good shots. But early, De La Hoya landing lots of body punches.
Well, whenever Oscar hears that 10-second warning, he goes right to work. Catching Trinidad as Trinidad was coming in, stopping him right in his tracks.
We had the round 10. Going into this fight, it would appear that Oscar De La Hoya's best chance for power punches was the left hook, and Trinidad was his right hand. It has been just the opposite. De La Hoya's landed mostly right hands, and Trinidad has tried at least mostly to land the left hooks, though he has dropped in some right hands. There's the hook again by Trinidad. Good hook again by Trinidad. That one got there. We haven't seen the hook of De La Hoya that much. Do you think it could be impaired still from the Obakar fight?
Well, it's possible. I don't think so. I've seen him throw it a few times with enough power in ones that he's missed to make me think that he's throwing it with intention.
In round 10, it is scheduled for 12. There have been no knockdowns. No one has been close to being knocked down.
I thought Tito was coming on a little in that last round. Even if he lost the round, I thought he was doing better. And he's come out here again, intent on getting to Oscar.
And in this round, he has landed some pretty good shots and not taken as many counter punches from De La Hoya.
But Oscar's done a good enough job of boxing or getting a hand in front of his face or sliding with a punch that I don't think even yet he has tasted full power from Felix Trinidad. And that's just what he wants. He wants to go through 12 rounds without ever once facing the full power of Trinidad.
Now in this round, though, De La Hoya has done very little offensively. If he's going to win this round, he's going to have to really make an effort. And here we are 10 rounds into this bout, and still both men aware of the power of the other man, not willing to take too many chances.
Well, I think Trinidad's got to change that.
I believe you're right.
He's really got to let his hands fly. Trinidad may be a little heavier-handed, but really Oscar's had the far flashier combinations and the sharper punches. Trinidad is winning this round, however, on aggression.
Yes, he is. And with only seconds remaining, Felix Trinidad having one of his better rounds in this bout and lands a couple of right hands against Oscar De La Hoya. Here comes De La Hoya, and they have a big exchange, but those are not punches thrown with conviction by De La Hoya. Those are pity-pat punches. Well, a lot of anxiety in that corner. Here's Tito Trinidad. He's fired up over what he did in the 10th round. Let's see if he can continue it. One round does not a fight make, though, and certainly De La Hoya did a lot of good work early.
Now, De La Hoya's trainer, Robert Alcazar, very clear in his instructions. Just box him 2 more rounds and we go home with the belt.
Could Oscar be getting tired? He got nailed with a big right hand by Trinidad. They both have been over the 10-round limit. You saw the graphic. De La Hoya now boxing, moving at least. Trinidad looks renewed, though. He is chasing Oscar with renewed vigor. And De La Hoya not counterpunching much.
He's going to need to let his hands fly.
De La Hoya has the look of a fighter who is either tired or running out of gas.
He looks to me like he did in the 7th and 8th rounds against Ike Corte. Oscar had it all his own way for a few rounds there, but the momentum is switching in this fight.
He had a very good segment in the middle of this fight, but now Felix Trinidad has been relentless in his pursuit, and he's got 2 more rounds to make something happen. He's doing very well here in the 11th, is Tito Trinidad. Gil Clancy told De La Hoya, you're going to have to hit him to get his respect, and he's going to have to do that, or else Trinidad's going to walk right in. The jab also of De La Hoya is going south on him. And if Trinidad closes fast and wins these rounds, boy, De La Hoya holding a lot. And Mitch Halpern warning, now talking to both fighters about it. If Trinidad wins these last couple rounds, and it's still possible De La Hoya could win a decision, there will be a hue and a cry, believe me.
Well, that's why, Trinidad should be going for the gusto, I believe, because he knew coming in that Oscar De La Hoya has been the beneficiary of very close decisions here in Las Vegas.
Couple of jabs by De La Hoya, good right hand by De La Hoya. And Trinidad gets in the hook. De La Hoya's never gotten that left hook on track. Trinidad continues to be the aggressor.
Now the question is, did Tito wait too long? This fight is moving in his direction.
He is going after De La Hoya. Oscar better push him back somewhere. Those punches not meaningful by De La Hoya. The hook gets in by Oscar. He's not throwing that punch with a lot of conviction, though. And Tito Trinidad has won himself another round, I believe.
De La Hoya simply trying to stay out of harm's way.
We are in the 12th round. Early in the fight, Trinidad got off pretty well in round 1. Round 2 was close. Oscar had a series of rounds in which he completely outboxed Trinidad. That turned around in round 9. Trinidad has been pursuing De La Hoya through then. I have this fight 6-4 and 1 even right now for De La Hoya, but that is so unofficial.
That right hand of Trinidad driving De La Hoya back. In the corner, De La Hoya, you can tell by the way they're instructing him, they feel he has a decision in the bag. And they just want him to get through the 12th round safely, and they feel they'll go home with the belts.
Again, De La Hoya moving constantly, but not throwing too many punches. He feints there. Big right hand by Trinidad.
Another one. Oscar's in a little difficulty here. Trinidad finally seems to have solved him.
Finally, the right hand has gotten there by Felix Trinidad. It has become a big weapon here. The jab again of De La Hoya. It has not been evident in the last 3 or 4 rounds. Trinidad has closed the distance repeatedly, gotten in right hands, and it has been De La Hoya doing nothing but moving. He is in a prevent defense right now. The crowd doesn't like it. With 1:20 left in this round, Trinidad continues to, oh, nice left hook by De La Hoya.
There was a little bobble there by Trinidad after that shot.
You have to wonder if De La Hoya would have been able to follow up on that. And that was the first really good left hook he's landed in a long time. Good jab by De La Hoya. He's actually, and the hook again by him. So now he's doing something offensively. This round might still be up for grabs.
Trinidad had great success with the right hand early in this round. And that's about the 4th one that he's landed cleanly in this round. But the first one since the opening 45 seconds or so.
De La Hoya stopped being offensive in round 9 for the most part. And except for spurts, he has not been really much in this round either. What was a superb boxing performance by Oscar De La Hoya turned into a defensive performance in the last few rounds, and not one in which he got a lot accomplished. And there are only seconds left to go in this bout.
And I believe Trinidad has swept the last 3 rounds. But what's that going to mean on the judges' scorecards?
And possibly the last 4, who knows? Certainly the last 3. That'll do it. This one is over. You can make a strong case for Oscar De La Hoya, who I think won this bout by 1 or 2 points. He boxed superbly, and should he win this, and you can also probably make a case for Trinidad in a close decision, I guess, although I thought that De La Hoya controlled more rounds in this fight, and there were no 2-point rounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the Budweiser scorecards. Len Hamada scores the bout
114 to 114. He has it even. Bob Logis scores the bout 115 to 114. And Jerry Roth scores the bout 115 to 113 for the winner by majority decision de Puerto Rico and the unified